Welcome to Rebel Religion, and welcome to this, our ongoing series with Yeehaw!
Yeah!
Good for you, Cara. We got a yeehaw out of you. We were bad-mouthing Gerard, weren't we, because he wouldn't play along. But then he revealed to me that I thought it was me. I was being original by introducing the yeehaw, and then he burst my bubble by saying that you hear that all the time when you go into school. So
all the time.
there you go, the kids. So you're probably sick of hearing that. Anyway, good fun. Yeehaw, which of course means youth, education, health, and advice. I got it right this time. I said awareness. But it's not too far off scale, because part of what we're doing these videos is we're trying to raise some awareness. If you've seen our introduction, our theme was well-being, mental health, and body image in particular is what we're focusing on in this little video series. And if you've not seen the introduction video with myself and Gerard, just quickly to say, why not go back after this, check that out to get a general overview of the theme, and in which we highlighted some of the areas that we're going to be looking at. And that's what this little video is. So apologies, Frank Cara O'Kane.
Yeah.
Got that right as well. I was calling Cara by the wrong name before this, giving it all away here behind the scenes. Cara works with Yeehaw, obviously why she's here contributing to this. And today we're going to look at the female perspective on body image tied in. So we're going to begin with just, if you saw the first video, we were basing some of this off of the mental health organisation foundation, mentalhealth.org.uk, and some findings that they had done. They'd actually made this year 2019 body image was the theme for their year. And we had highlighted some of the findings from a report. One of the biggest, they said, that had been done in this area relating body image with mental well-being and health. But we wanted to begin this video, we were discussing this before, by highlighting, and this is reiterated by Mental Health Foundation, that although body image is not a mental health problem in and of itself, it can be a risk factor for mental health problems. So body image isn't the intrinsic evil in itself. We're hoping to get that across in these awareness videos, but what we're trying to do is obviously present some findings, but to the idea, Cara, as we were discussing, is to highlight the pros and cons, the healthy idea of body image, and the shadow dark side that often comes with body image. So before Cara introduces herself and says a little bit about our own experience in working with Yeehaw and around this area, what we wanted to do is just give a little context to this female perspective, because Cara and Gerard were telling me that as part of the Yeehaw project, I think was it about a year ago, you said 2 young ladies who interned with you, who basically were on placement, and came in, and interestingly they had chosen body image as a subject that they wanted to research and was important to them, and they made a presentation which could go into schools and discuss around this area. So Cara's going to say a little bit about our own work with Yeehaw and working around that area. So that was a long introduction. That was a long-winded introduction, but I think it gives context to what we're doing here, Cara. So thank you for joining us, for coming in, sitting down and sharing some of your experience. So why don't you just say hello, y'all, and who you are, what you do, and share some of that lovely wisdom with us.
Okie dokes. So I'm a youth health and wellbeing worker with Yeehaw project, and some of the work that I would do would be one-to-one and group work, and a lot of the sort of issues that come up will be body image and stuff, but I'm sort of from the view without sounding like a cliche, but beauty comes from within. So a lot of the time whenever young people are comfortable in their own skin, they're feeling happy and they're feeling healthy mind, body wise, a lot of the time they're not hung up on the smaller issues like maybe needing to lose a wee bit of weight or whether their hair sits properly or wee bits and pieces like that. So a lot of the time I find that young people who maybe are not feeling themselves or not feeling great, some of these wee issues can come a lot more prevalent in their lives and get them down a whole lot more than maybe people who are feeling a wee bit more comfortable in their own skin.
No, exactly. I think it is. It's we all go through it, don't you? I think especially in your teens and when you're discovering yourself, so to speak, and what you're about. Body image is clearly important. And discovering who you are and finding, I think, like you say, the key is being comfortable within yourself.
Yeah.
And realising that inner journey of being, that's where true beauty, I like the way you put that. I couldn't agree more that true beauty comes from within. Some of the most beautiful people I think I've ever met, it's not a kind of superficial kind of exterior thing. Like the really beautiful people you meet in life is are the ones that have that kind of inner beauty, if you want, if you know what I mean. I think people know what you mean when you talk about that. So listen, part of this idea was to highlight, to find the balance between highlighting some of the healthy ideas of body image and some of the shadow side. So we have agreed that because Cara was telling me that social media was such an influential and important part of that presentation in the whole, especially with young ladies around body image. So we've decided that we're actually going to do a separate video just around the idea of body image and the influence of social media, looking at the pros and the shadow side. But is there anything else, so we'll obviously check back for that follow-up video, but is there anything else in a general kind of idea from your experience of working, I suppose, looking at the pros and cons of body image and the female perspective that's worth highlighting?
Certainly. Well, I'm not against the likes of a wee bit of makeup here and there. If you want to modify yourself in terms of beauty, then I think power to you. If that's what's going to make you feel better whenever you wake up in the morning and feel like you're going to be more fierce and feisty and be able to have a brilliant day by doing yourself up a wee bit, then that's absolutely fantastic. Like, go for it. In terms of being unhealthy with that, there's people maybe feel as if they can need a darker tan, so we'll go and lie under a sunbed for loads of minutes a day or whatever. So that would be increasing the risk of skin cancers and stuff. Other young people might feel as if they want bigger lips or bigger cheekbones or things like that and might sort of want to go for cosmetic surgery. If young people feel as if that's going to make them a healthier person or a happier person on the inside, then obviously they're taking some risks there. I feel as if body image is can be a really good thing, because if it makes you feel more confident by taking wee steps, then I don't think that's very negative. I would say that's quite a positive thing. But again, it's as long as you're making good choices with it and that you're doing it healthily and that you're doing it happily or taking the right steps for it, then that's where it ends.
Exactly, it's the balance. I know we keep coming back to it.
Yeah.
You're laughing here. I don't know what you're laughing at. But it's finding that balance. Because yes, there's some people you look at like if I'm looking at young ladies and you're looking at image and you think that's a bit OTT. Yeah. That's a bit over the top. Then you would question how healthy that is. You know, and we talked a wee bit about this behind the scenes of how far is too far, and the dangers, because the whole cosmetic thing is suddenly, like a lot of things in our culture, it's available now. Yeah. It's not just on TV, it's available on the high street, online, and obviously there's all the dangers that come if you don't know what you're doing or why you're doing it and where you're getting like products for instance from. There's a whole shadow side of that you don't think about. But then again, I think there's the other scale, and I think like especially when it comes to mental health and well-being, the other side where you see that people aren't taking a pride, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but it is good to respect your body and take care of it, and you don't want to become the smelly child at school, if you know what I mean. You know, it's having that kind of dignity and respect for yourself, taking care of yourself, presenting yourself properly as well. And they're always, I'll find that there can be sure signs of somebody who is depressed if you can tell that they're not even taking like basic things like their hygiene, for instance, can be telling signs that somebody is in that shadower side, darker side of their body image, an unhealthy body image where they're not taking care of basics, and you would want to be attentive to that as well. I think.
And with self-care being a massive thing at the minute, everybody should be taking care of their own selves. And if you talk to a lot of young people, you'll find that whenever you say, how do you care for yourself, how do you make yourself feel better, a lot of the time it'll be a nice bath, a face mask, or maybe getting a wee haircut, getting their nails done, or getting wee things like that done, and that would make them feel better.
I know, I can relate to that. I love I find getting my hair cut very therapeutic.
Yeah.
There's nothing worse, better, I like, than going to the barbers and just having my head shaved and just that way. It might only be 5-10 minutes, but there's something therapeutic about sitting on the barber's chair and having your nostrils blowtorched. But they don't do that.
I haven't got experience that one.
In the Turkish barbers, they blowtorch your ear hairs and your nose hairs. That's when you know you're getting old. When they ask you if you want your nose done and your ears done. So that's excellent. Listen, you watching this? Right, you ready for this? You're wondering what the hell's going on. That is a very rare exclusive. It's called, I think it's Blue Mist it's called. It's like a rare kind of, only some few people have it. It's like a modelling trait that only very
like
few people
Zoolander.
have. Exactly, you got it. It's a cultural reference to Zoolander. I was checking out to see how good your pop cultural reference was. Of course, Zoolander, which is a kind of comical take on the whole fashion and modelling arena. I think Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson, I think, isn't it? Excellent. Funny film. If you've not seen it, you should check it out. So that's my Zoolander impression. I'm impressed that you got that. Terrible. Alright, Cara, well listen, thanks very much for joining us. As you say, we're going to follow this video. There's going to be another part where we're going to look at the whole influence of body image and social media, especially the influence. It's a key point, so we thought it deserves a video in itself. But that's just, I suppose, in a way of a little kind of introduction and theme. And a female perspective. We had thought of asking Gerard to do the female perspective, but we thought it would be better to come from an actual female. So thank you for sharing your experience with us. So be sure to check out the other videos in the series. Any takeaways, Cara, before we wrap up here?
No, I've had a great time. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You want to do a Zoolander impression before you go? That's brilliant. That's better than mine, I tell you. There you go. Job done. Alright guys, so listen, thanks for joining us. Be sure to do all the usual, hit like, subscribe and all those things, and check out the other videos. Until next time, bye for now and God bless.